Thank you, Saif. Okay. So we will leave the questions to the end of the class. So so I can cover as much as we can from the material. So speaking of the concepts in social studies, as I said, they are, you will see many developed definitions for a certain concept that not necessarily they are contradicting, but in general, you can look at them as complementing. But every definition will be coming from a different point of view. Okay, and since there is no way of proving which one is accurate, okay, then the definition remain um, uh, different for the same concept, uh, and will be adopted by different entities and people based on their point of view of that concept. So with that, here we're going to give kind of three definitions, and there are, I think, more definitions than these, but these are more pertaining to the profession than others. So one says that a profession is a vocation, and a vocation means an occupation founded upon specialized educational training. The purpose of this occupation is to supply disinterested counsel. And by disinterested counsel here, we mean that with no special interest to the provider of that consultation. Okay, and services to the other for a direct and definite compensation. So I'm given consultation, okay, to other people, okay, with a certain amount of compensation. Direct means that I will be paid money, okay, and that there is a definite amount for that money that I receive, okay. And this is wholly apart from expectations of other business gains, okay. Meaning, in other words, that whatever service that I give to him, okay, and I get compensated for, should not, in a way that benefit me in any other words from business point of view. Okay, I don't give the consultation to get him to buy a product that my other company makes. Okay, that's in simple words there. Another definition based on sociological point of view, and sociological means in Arabic word from ناحية اجتماعية. Okay, the sociologists view attaining professional status as a tactic to gain power or advantage in the marketplace. So they look at the professional status as a way, okay, or a strategy that those professionals make, okay, to gain power in the marketplace, get power and advantage over others in the marketplace. And they put some characteristics that mark this professional status and also support their claim. Number one, this professional status requires extensive training, and this extensive training is going to the level that it requires a bachelor degree in that field this occupation is held at. Okay, And this is, as they put it, as a tactic to stop any other people who do not have this extensive training to join this profession, to be part of this profession. Okay. Vital knowledge and skills. So they have a knowledge that is very important to the public, and it is needed by the public. Okay. So we can say, for example, medicine. Okay, it's knowledge and skills that really needed by the public to get themselves cured. Okay. They have control of service. And here, by that we mean, as we said, that they require certain certificates or degrees, and pretty much could be a bachelor degree in that field, and convince that the community or the public that nobody, okay, who does not have this degree could join this or practice this profession. Or also, they might convince the public and the government to license this profession. So they stop or minimize the number of people that join this profession. So even this is a higher level of control of service, that even you get the degree, you will not automatically be a professional. So then, or you enter that profession. So then they require you to go through a licensing, and that controlled by a certain board that you have to pass. Then you will be able to join that profession. And another mark of professional status here is the autonomy in the workplace. And this is especially for professionals that are in private sector. Autonomy means that you are kind of free to prescribe or choose the way to service the public or the people. And that's happening because you are the expert, you are the person that is knowledgeable in that field. So if you go to a doctor and then you complain about certain symptoms, okay, the doctor will ask you a few questions and then send you to the lab, do some blood work or some other things, and then get the lab results, and then tells you, I have to do a surgery. Okay, as a layperson here or as a patient, you don't know anything about medicine there. So you cannot argue with the doctor, say, no, I don't need the surgery. You just give me some pills and I will be okay. You cannot do that because you don't know, right? So you are at his mercy, if you will. Okay, so that's what we call autonomy in workplace. Also, the other mark is that they have a claim to ethical regulations. So professionals say that, okay, so you have to trust us. You don't know our field. You don't know, or you don't have the knowledge and experience that we have. So you have to trust us. Okay, then the question comes from the public that, how would I trust you? We will tell you that we are professionals. We have regulations that regulate us. And those regulators are professionals like us. So they know if we do something wrong, then we will be caught there. So they have a claim to that. So then organizations that ASME or any other organization that regulate the engineers there, they claim that they have ethical codes that will regulate this professional, so protect the public in that sense. So this is another way or another definition of what is a profession. A third definition, which came from a scholar named Michael Davis, and this scholar followed the Socratic's approach, where Socrates, usually the philosopher at his time, whenever he is uh, discussing a certain concept, okay, he will pose the question to many levels of people, okay, and then combine all the answers that he received from the people, and then produce a definition that is collective. So Michael Davis did the same concept that Socrates did before, asking people a definition of what is a profession. Okay, and then he combined all what he, and by the way, this is spent a lot of time, maybe a few years before he came up with this definition. So it is kind of more lenient to be, this is the definition that suits us as engineers here. So he's saying that a profession is an individual. Okay, yes, let's see what happened here. Okay, sorry, I heard a sound. I thought there is. Okay, so he's saying that profession is a number of individuals in the same occupation. So this means that uh, a profession cannot be from one person, okay, or maybe two or a small number. It is a group of individuals that have the same occupation. By the way, a profession and occupation, they are different. Occupation is a way of earning living. It's a job. Okay, that's the occupation. But the profession, as we can see now, it's a job. It's a way of earning living, but it has another status which is higher than that, just merely a job. Okay, so it is the same as occupation, that people enters voluntary and they leave voluntary. Okay, so you choose to be an engineer, okay, and you can decide to leave this profession and live or earn living from other things. So it's not forcible. You are not forced to be in this field. Okay. Also, one essence of it that they earn a living by openly serving a moral ideal. And here we mean that a good cause. You are serving a good cause. A doctor is serving a good cause, which is a cure of patients. A lawyer is serving a good purpose, which is the welfare of the people. So he's helping you when you get a lawsuit to be able to defend yourself. An engineer also is serving a good moral ideal by producing good things and useful things for human to improve their day-to-day life. So that's what we mean by moral ideal. So it means that we cannot call a profession of thieves, okay, or a profession of torturing people. Okay, so it has to have a good moral ideal. And that moral ideal is morally permissible. That's what we mean. Okay, so it has to be permissible, not theft or torturing or killing. I'm a professional that I'm a hitman. I kill people. That's my profession. That's not acceptable in this concept here. So it is a morally permissible way beyond what law, market, morality, public opinion would other require. By that we mean here that you go above and beyond what the law and the market and the morality and the public opinion require, because there is requirement. Law sets requirements. Okay, market sets requirements. Also the morality, which we're going to talk about what morality means, al-akhlaq, also sets requirements. But as a professional, you go above and beyond what this requirement is, not just doing what the law says. Okay, you go above what the law says, meaning not being above the law, it means, but you are protecting the people, okay, in a way that is more than what is just required by the law, because you are the expert in that field. Sometimes laws come to be short in a certain sense. Okay, so those are three definitions from different point of views, and as I said, I am more into this definition than the others, but the others also have some valid points in them. Okay, so we will look at them. What is morality? Okay, in Latin words, it's known as mores. Concern the goodness of voluntary human conduct that affect yourself and affect the others around you. So you're making choices with reasons, and these reasons are to the good of the people and the good of the living things. Okay. Morality also refers to the characteristics of human actions. So, what is a good characteristic of a human action? And sometimes people refer to it as common morality, and we will talk about this in the coming slides. While ethics in Greek is ethos, is commonly referred to professional behavior, not behavior in general. So it is talking about the professional behavior. The word ethics is reserved for professional behavior. So it is the study of how choices are made by a person in relationship to others, such as organizations or government or the public. And in other words, we can say ethics is the study of morality. Okay, it is the study of morality in professional context. The word ethics and morality could be used interchangeably. Okay, but we need to keep in mind that ethics is reserved for professional behavior rather than just general behavior. Okay, and definitions of ethics in that way, they pertain to the choices that engineers make while practicing engineering, as well as while they conduct their daily life. Okay, there are three types of morality or ethics. Okay, which we as people will encounter. At least for now, you are encountering the first one and the second, and we are preparing you to go for the third one. Okay, so the first one is the common morality, and by the common morality is we mean that the shared beliefs, the moral beliefs that shared by almost everybody. Okay, uh, we can say that it is wrong to murder, and this is accepted by almost everybody. And and by that we mean people from different backgrounds, different religions, different geographic locations, all agree upon these things. Of course, there are exceptions for those who are criminals. They will say, no, it is not wrong to murder, things like that. But those are exceptions. We're talking about almost everybody agree upon that. Even those people who commit these crimes, they know it is wrong. Okay, but they justify it with other reasons there. Also, cheating, stealing, breaking promises, harm others physically. Those are some common morality that people agree upon. Then come in the second level or in another level, because priority there is left to the person, personal morality. By that we mean the set of moral beliefs that person holds. This include your, as we said, ethnic background, includes your religion, includes your culture, your tribal traditions, your country tradition, your family traditions, many things. Okay, this is all in the personality. Uh, but personal morality uh, is aligned with the common morality. Aligned in a sense that wrong to murder comes from the background of people or religions and stuff like that, and then become um, uh, what do you call it, a common moral thing. Okay, where they differ. Okay, the personal morality will differ with the common morality in areas that the common morality not yet developed a moral standard there, or still that moral standard is changing. I give example of that. Maybe in most of the Western countries, it is accepted to consume a certain level of alcohol. That considered as a moral. No, it's not a bad thing. But for example, here for us as Muslims, that is not acceptable. So this area in common morality is not agreed upon all over. So even in that area in the West, there are some people who are religious, or there are some people who are against alcohol. Okay, but the overall people there accept this and many things like that. So this is to give you an example of where personal morality could be different from the common morality there. At areas where common morality is still changing or developing, okay, or is not yet become almost everybody share that belief. Okay, then the last one, which is the professional ethics, and is the set of standards adopted by professionals insofar as they view themselves acting as professionals, such as engineering, medicine, law, and etc. Okay, uh, professional ethics is also paralleling the common morality, but it is kind of, you can say, common morality applied to that profession, and we will see that in the common slides. One thing that makes the professional ethics different from personal morality and common morality is that the professional ethics is written in codes and standards. Okay, so it is written, but common morality is not written, it's perceived. Okay, and also the personal morality is not written. Okay. Okay. So engineering ethics, the rules and standard which governs the conduct of engineers in their role as professionals. So it is a set of rules that make a standard or govern how we should do things. Because we know most of you maybe already took a design course in your discipline there, and we know that the design problem is an open-ended problem. Okay, which means in simple words that uh, two designs or many designs can come out of a certain problem, which they could be different. Okay, and there is no one answer to that question. When I give you a design problem, I don't expect that you will give me at the end 20 Newton and you put two lines under it. No, the answer always is not distinct answer there. Okay, so that's why we need some standards and some rules to govern how we get these solutions. So engineering ethics are similar in general to the common morality, as we said, but they are applied to specific engineering issues. Example of that, wrong to lie. This is from the common morality, is represented in the National Society of Professional Engineers code as issue public statement only in an objective and truthful manner. So we can see that this common morality is represented in the ethics code as to be specific to the profession that it is in. Okay. um, because of the importance of this engineering ethics, okay, the ABIT, which is the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, and we mentioned in the last period that this is a neutral body that regulate the universities or colleges that teach engineering and technology. So due to the importance of this issue of professional ethics or engineering ethics, they mandate or required that ethics is included in the engineering curriculum. Okay, and you will see that now this course is dedicated to teaching professional, social, and ethical issues in engineering. But also, if you look at some of the course outcomes that you come across in your classes, you will see some of them include ethical impact or ethical implication of your engineering work there. Okay, so this is a must and requirement by ABIT to be accrediting that institution by the ABIT accreditation. Ethical issues faced by engineers working in industry could be less than not limited to this as public safety, That's one of the ethical issues that we should care about as engineers. Give an example here, cutting corners in a vehicle design. So sharp corners mean. So you have a sharp corner in a vehicle design that if somebody come passing it, he could be cut or hurt. So that is what do you call it? Will put the public safety in jeopardy. Bribery and fraud. And we know bribery is paying money to get a certain service that you don't deserve or you are not uh, bound to. Fraud is falsification of documents or impersonate or something like that. Environmental protection, so violation of the environment. Fairness, honesty in research and testing, and this is a very important one. Maybe it is important for your work as SDP. Excuse me. Or your work later on as RA or something like that with your professors, or in your master's degree and PhD. Trimming data, meaning that you do experimental work and then the results that you're getting is representing kind of a smooth curve, let's say parabolic or straight line or something like that. But you have few data that are really not following that line. So what you do, you eliminate these, remove them to make the line smooth. This is not acceptable. Cooking data. In this case, you are showing results that will strengthen your argument or your theory or your point of view, and leaving others that are contradict with that. So you have results that support your opinion, and you have other results that contradict your opinion. So you hide that one and you present only the one that is supporting your. By the way, naively, you could do these things just of a strong belief in your theory. You say maybe the other one, there are some reason for it. You should investigate that reason behind it before you can present your data. Forging data, and this is a worse that you make up the data. You have the theory and you don't do testing, but you make up the data that support this theory. And then also plagiarism, and of course, many of you know what is plagiarism means. Conflict of interest. And this conflict of interest means that I am working for a company, okay? And that company, for example, would like to buy a certain product from the market for the purpose of using it for the company's benefit. Let's say they want to buy some stationery, okay, for their employees. And I have my cousin or my brother or my friend, he has a bookshop, okay? And then I tell my brother or my friend to put his bid for this. And then I know that my brother is good and I trust him and he give a good price and I select him. This is an actual conflict of interest, okay? Because you are diminishing the ability of the company to make their choice on who is to give the bid for, okay? Potential that as I am working in the company there as a purchasing person, okay, and I have a company, or I have somebody that I know that provides some of the items that this company in general procure, okay. Not necessarily that this company, my company, or my friend company, or my cousin company already put a bid, okay, but I have some people or relationship with the company that would be potentially selling stuff to my company without disclosing this information to the company, okay. And then the apparent that people perceive that you have relationship with a certain company. They are not your friends, but you have some relationship with them, okay, in a way that they pay you for selecting them or something like that. So this is what we mean by conflict of interest. And conflict of interest, all that you need to do is declare it. So you need to declare it to the company. Then the company has all the right to let you be the person who make the decision, okay, or take that decision from you to another person, so he will be neutral in that case. So it doesn't mean that you have a conflict of interest. That means you need to be fired from the company. No, there are some other ways to go around it. So why do we study engineering ethics? Okay. Um, there is an increasing awareness of certain issues or high profile failures in engineering that we need engineers to know about. So in human life, engineers made many faults or failures, and we would like to study this to give the engineer an insight to prevent this from happening again and again. Decision made by engineers can impact public health, public safety, and also business practices. That's another reason. One reason that we mentioned already, that's now it is a requirement by the ABIT accreditation to study engineering ethics. Engineers should be aware of moral implications as they make decisions in the workplace. Almost every major corporation now, they have an office of ethics that an employee can approach this office to express their concerns without retaliation from the company. Because we will see in the case studies that we will discuss, in some occasions that you come and say, well, and you raise your point of view that there is an ethical concern here to your company, and what the company does is just fire you and they continue doing the same thing. So now it is a requirement that every major company, big companies, to have an office that will regulate these things and be able to protect you from being retaliated on. A study of ethics can help engineer to develop moral autonomy. And by moral autonomy, we mean that I would say the Arabic word for it is al-naqd al-dhati. So you will be able to really question yourself in things that you're doing. So the ability to think critically and independently about moral issues, and also the ability to apply this moral thinking to situations that arise in your work as professional. Ethical problems in engineering are often complex and involve conflicting ethical principles. Okay, of course, because all these rules that has to do with common morality and ethics in general are human-made, and as we said at the beginning, that definition of social in social study, okay, will have different point of view. So then ethical principles could intervene with each other or could conflict with each other in certain points. Let's say environmental protection could be conflicting with, let's say, uh, your obligation to the company that you're working for. Okay, because we're going to see that in some of the codes that it state that you are obligated, okay, as we said before, that you conduct the statements in truthful manner, accurate and truthful manner. Okay, so some of the principles, ethical principles, could be contradicting or conflicting with each other there. So you need to be intelligently resolving these conflicts and then come up with a solution that you will be able to defend. Okay. I think this part we already covered it when we talked about the three levels of morality, but again we just go through that. So personal ethics deals with how we treat others in the day-to-day life, and business and professional ethics. And here by business we mean that corporate ethics and professional ethics, and that this it could be different, and in sometimes it is a different thing. The company will have their own ethical codes, and the profession that you're in could have another ethical code. Okay. It involves choices regarding relationship between organizations and government, and they have complex relationships that might not be encountered in the personal level, because in personal level you are the sole decider of your ethics, but there in companies and other things you will be um, what do you call it, abide by the organization or the profession uh, to decide these things are good or not. Okay. Just a few things that is left. Okay. So both the engineering and business are governed by laws. This is the to compare between ethics and law. Okay. So an example here that we have, the Federal Communication Commission put forth a limit. So they have a regulation or a law that put a limit to the maximum allowable radiation that comes from a computer. Okay, a company could design a computer that meets this requirement, allowable requirement. Okay, but they know that a less level of radiation would be better for the health. But they don't do that because this will maximize the cost and then minimize the profit. So we can see now the difference between ethics and law. Law is a requirement, okay, that's set and you will be punished for, okay? But ethics is, as an expert there, you should do whatever best for the public without, of course, compromising the business of the company that you're working for. So you should go above, or what you can say in this case, below what the requirement of the law is. Okay, so you could be doing something legal as this company that makes the product or the computer just about this maximum allowable. So if you take me to court, nothing will happen there, because I did what the law is asking me. But ethically, I'm responsible for any harm that is passed to the public. Okay. I think we will stop here because of the time, and next time we'll just come and close the pitfalls and the other parts there. So we'll leave the, see if you have some questions here. Session will be recorded. Okay. And then Dr. There are two definitions of profession. Should I memorize all of them? No, the definition of a profession, you should not memorize any of them. It's just there put for you to know what we're talking about as a profession, because most people think that it is any skillful traits could be a profession, but that's not the case. I am really sorry for entering late. Okay, that's have a question. Okay, Mahmoud, you didn't put question. Can you upload the PowerPoint today? Yeah, I will. Okay. Okay. By the way, when I said that leave the questions towards the end of the class, it doesn't mean that you should not write your questions. As I speak, if you have a question, write it so you don't forget it. Then I will come back and read the chat and answer the questions at the end. Okay. Yes. That's considered as a personal morality. Yes, hijab is considered as a personal morality. This is not, of course, from religion point of view. This is from common morality point of view. And by that, as we said, it is what is agreed upon all over the world, not only in a specific area. Why fairness is an ethical issue? Okay, we mean here by fairness that if you don't distribute the good fair among the people, okay, and also the bad in a fair way among the other people, because sometimes, or some ethical issues will involve that, let's say people that are living in a certain area, okay, and there is a factory that dump the waste to the river that they drink from, and they fish from. So the harm here will be coming to only those local people, but everybody else will benefit from the product that the plant or company make. So this is not fair to these people. So this is where the fairness comes in the picture, Mustafa. The session is recorded. Yes, it is recorded. Mahmoud, in one of the definitions, previous personal. No, personal ethics is not used for the professional. Did not he say that the word ethics? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Because also we said that this word is used interchangeably. So we can say this is personal morality. You can put it this way. It's a personal morality. Yeah. In social studies, Mahmoud, we need to be careful, because as I said, things are not clear cut as engineering. Okay. So people use things in different words. The author could say this, but people, when they use the word ethics and morality, they use them interchangeably. But we devote them here to say these are related to professional rather than common morality or personal morality. Okay, any other questions? Okay, for those who want to leave, it's okay. You can leave the session, but whoever has a question, please pose your question. Okay, for the radiation coming from computer example, should engineers minimize the radiation or just follow the... Okay, that's a good question, Haris, there. Your ethical obligation is that if you believe that this could cause big harm to the public, okay, you should reduce it. And you should convince your manager and your company to reduce that level. Okay, but if you don't have a strong evidence or believe that this will harm people, then you can go with the whatever the regulation says, because also the regulations comes from people coming together and discussing the issue, and then they make it a law, and this they will include all stakeholders in that to make the law. Stakeholders means people, public in general, okay, companies that are involved in this business or affected by that business, okay, and then legislators, who are the people, law people that makes the regulations. So there is a discussion, they call it public hearing. They discuss and then they make the law according to the input from all these entities together. Sometimes that level that they decide with the time could be discovered to be not to the level. So if you keep just doing what they have prescribed, then you're going to harm the people. So that's why we have another level of defense, which is the ethical responsibility. Okay, so if there is no other questions, thank you very much. I will stop the session now. Thank you. Stay safe, stay at home. Thank you.